this area is Western Hills area, and it's one of the outer areas of Fort Worth. But it's, you know, I lived here off and on for, let's see, 2 years, coming out in 2010, 11, and then almost 2012. And then I went to Maine, up the state of Maine, for about 15 months. It was actually 17 months, but I was working for 15 months. And I wrote a book called Escape from Maine, but also wrote a series of short stories and stuff like that too. And also participated in the Center Theater as an actor at Dover Foxcroft. So I lived first in Parkman, down the road from Bert Shavitz, who owned Burt Bees, or he was the face of Burt Bees at that time. And they were making a movie about him, a documentary called Bert's Buzz. Then I moved to Guilford to work in a factory called Hardwood Products, where I continued to work there, and then moved into Dover Foxcroft, where I participated in the Center Theater. Also helped out at a place called first theater that I helped out with was called the Wayside Theater, run by June Goodman. No, is her name Jude Woods? No, Jude Woodson. I believe it's June Woodson. She's a writer. She wrote a book, kind of a bio of Maine and her life. I believe it was June Woodson. And my story, her name is July, I believe, Woodson. I think I might have kept the same name. June Woodson. I think it's Woodson. June Woodson. She's an older lady. Then I worked with Bobby Keniston, I think is how he's a playwright. Published playwright out of Brooklyn, but he lives in Maine, or he did last time I was around. He wrote a series of plays that were a collective called My Gay Life, and that was Bobby's stuff. He was also a director. He directed me in a few plays, or I think one play. It was called Broadway Bound Murder Mystery. I played the director in it. So he was a director for real, and I was playing a director in it that gets killed. The director gets killed, so my body gets dragged into a room and forgotten about. They did hit my head on a desk, so I started remembering things then. I was writing the book then, off and on, 30 minutes to 3 or 4 hours a night sometimes, and going to Bangor to watch movies. And there was a Penobscot Theater in Bangor, and then going by Stephen King's house just to get the thrill of just driving by his house. And I did have a video camera. I had a little mini cam. I've got all the digital SD cards locked up in a lockbox. And I wrote a novel. Well, it was a novella called Gone Fishing. I believe it had 2 names. The Mohan Flower. So it was Gone Fishing, the Mohan Flower, which was, Mohan was a word that was written on the factory wall in Hardwood. And the work up there, I changed it to Havenwood Products. It was like they still did wood, it was like a wood. They did like medical equipment and stuff. Came back here, I met Angel, who was my second wife, and she gave me 3 children. Then we got divorced 2019, March 9th, 2019 was the last time I seen them all. And I guess she just left me to wonder and talk into this recorder thing. Then I met Linda in 2020, and then I started putting together the Please Subscribe show and the Linda and Cole Band. I'm still kicking. I got a I got a sore heel now. And I'm missing the old jog routine. I really do miss jogging. I'm 50. I'm going to be 52 in one day, and I was 51, but pretty soon I'm going to be 52. As I say, 52 pickup. All right, next hot spot coming up, 2.4 miles. All right, $3.50 Applebee's. Thanks for the $1.50. I will pick it up at 10:08 arrival, 3 minutes, 0.5 miles. All right, this $3.50 order is going 7.1 miles. We'll be there at 10:26. Well, it looks like we picked up a 550 at McDonald's. We'll be there at 10:44 p.m. 5 minutes, 2.1 mile. All right, this McDonald's is going to be dropped off at 10:54 arrival time. 6 minutes, 2.1 mile. All the way from Virginia. I guess they go on green lights in Virginia. And this is like our Times Square off of Rosedale and Barry. Let's see. Yeah, 8th Avenue. Rosedale and 8th Avenue. There's 8th Avenue right over there. Yeah, that's right. This is 8th Avenue. And that's Rosedale, West Rosedale. And that's like our little Times Square area with the big light. We only have like one light. There's a few little areas downtown that have like jumbo screens and stuff. I think chapter 80 of my novel Rib, parentheses, or Dog Night Out, close parentheses, dash Shepherds of Alaska. There's jumbo screens because he gets dropped off at Times Square and his foot's not hurting as much, you know, because he's gonna need it walking around New York. and he goes immediately to a subway to try to find Uptown. The Greenwich Village area is where the interview is being held. And I guess he made national news because he was attacked by the police and his spouse got attacked and the dog died, and there was a lawsuit, and he won, roughly $1 million in the lawsuit. So someone finds out about it, they want to interview, talk about police brutality, and little do people know is when he starts getting the idea in this next interview, which is going to be heavy in dialogue. Probably the heaviest in dialogue in the book is going to be in this particular interview, which would probably be cut if it was made into a movie. Just like Hamlet's Howl Occasions do Inform Against Me and Spur My Dull Revenge is always cut in the play of Hamlet because it takes a lot of time for him to tell everyone that he's going to kill Claudius. So the dwarf, being kind of like Hamlet in this particular novel rib, decides that he's going to monitor the country with a militia, an armed militia that would be regulated, and he knows that because it says in the Constitution that you can have a militia, but it has to be regulated, and they can't make any arrest, which they do secretly because they're all like Remo Williams and stuff. They come back to Fort Worth and they find the serial killer because no one else can find him, and it's that kind of thing. They're from New Jersey, right there. And it's that kind of script. It's kind of, it's a lot of, I guess it's plot heavy in a way. I don't think it's a character. I guess if you look at the dwarf, there is some character. And also Dwight East when he's in the, in Alaska and he's, watching Rambo or he's watching First Blood. And I guess there's some character in it. It certainly could be. But it does have a plot that's outlined and must be finished. And that's how I know the book is finished, because all the plot points are hit. Finally comes back here. Dwight East comes back here a free man because they catch Daniel Lucius Copex, the real killer. There's a little bit of Sherlock Holmes in there because he wore a mask and pretended like he was Dwight East, even though he was Daniel killing migrants, wandering migrants, because they were easy targets. And he got to kill because he felt he was working for the devil. And so he's captured, and then they capture him and drop him off in Alaska. It's good guy versus bad guy. And Dwight East comes back, and that's how it ends with him coming back. The militia team gets on a sub in Alaska, and you realize that they have like real power, because he turns his millions, the dwarf turns his millions into billions on Wall Street, and they end up taking a submarine in Alaska to go and do more kind of like research and stuff on the country. It's definitely got like a series kind of thing. And so I think the ending is after the submarine going down, kind of Red October kind of thing. I think it switches, and Dwight East is pulling up in Fort Worth, and there's helicopters all over Fort Worth because there's like revolution happening. And there's smoke in the air, and things are on fire. It's almost like the end of the world kind of thing. And he's coming back to become and be an officer again, to be a police officer again in his kind of like, I guess you could say, his hometown of Fort Worth. And when he arrives here, it's like complete chaos. And that would get into the next series if I choose to continue to write it. Anyway, I'm still working on chapter 80. It's coming slow, but I'm trying to paint a picture of New York a little bit in the subway, and then him getting to the interview and talking about what he wants to do. And then I'm also working on my song, A Low Life. It's always double for a low life. Head back to Kitty. Gives Kitty some food. Remember West Side Story, November, and then The Lightning Thief is already here. Or it's about to be here. place is called Stewart's Cocktails, and it has 1930 on it. I guess that's the address, maybe. Maybe they time travel from 1930. Yeah, so these time travelers from well, they're from like 3000 and something. They went to the 1930s to get some ideas to open a bar. And they time traveled to 2025 and opened a very successful bar. But they don't tell anybody that they're time travelers. And they figured out exactly what to serve people, when to serve it, the type of drinks that they'd like, the type of movies to talk about. They do a lot of research. And then once they appeared there, for the other time traveler people, they just put 1930 on there because they got the ideas from the 1930s. They're like time traveling around. Kind of like Bill and Ted's, but only they open bars. Like that one, like Stewart's. Rice. So you rest, ice, compression, and elevation on a foot injury. So rest. I is ice, compression, and elevation. Right, kitty? All right, kitty. We gotta feed the outdoor kitties, okay? Amy, known as Amy the Witch, Midnight Kitty, and Skinny Midnight. Just stand back. Stand back. Go this way. Other kitties out there too. So, yeah. It's pretty much all she wants. So just that. I'll feed her a little chunk of it. Hang on, kitty. Hang on. All right. Yeah. Kitty, take your time now, okay? We'll get to today's kitty it. Here we go with today's kitty. There's one kitty, 9 lives. And each life has a number. Numbers 1 through 9. Swirl the cat food. And pick a cat food. Today's kitty will be having bistro, chicken Alfredo sauce entree. Oh, good. Have at it, kitty. Waiting on you. You're not going to get a free elevator ride. Check quickies. tea on. Now, I'm not going to just be eating rice only. This is the tuna, looking for the protein. But we're going to cut up some of these tomatoes, bell pepper, yellow. Probably zucchini is what this is. Olive, garnished with pickle. All right, let's see if we can succeed with this one. We're gonna do the tomatoes. Actually, to be honest, did it wrong. Gotta get that. We're gonna add the rice first. I'll make some tea. Making the rice is the hardest part. This is actually pretty good. It's not too crunchy. Not too soft and not too crunchy. Tea going. Put that there for the side. Now, sterilize. Very good. And first, the rice. Pretty difficult. Grab this, right, just like that, just like that, just like that. Remember, spinach is the reason why I'm here. It's my great grandma. Then, on top of everything, the protein. Tuna open, and I do sincerely apologize. But a lot of nutrients are in there. So these things here. There we go. It attracts cats. There you go, kitty. Tuna and spinach and veggies. food. And we'll see what happened with the news. Try some of the bread. Bread of life. There's my tuna sandwich. Mix in there with the rice. So I have an arena. I haven't got to the rice yet. But dig in with the rice and the tuna. A bits of diet, so watch the news. Have a good night.
Bye.